Good day. Have you ever wondered why certain individuals are so attracted to you? There is something enigmatic about the way people seem to fall in love with you, whether it is your personality, charm, or even your appearance. Why would someone find you irresistible? Why does this attraction seem so strong and profound? Perhaps, just perhaps, something far deeper is going on behind the surface. It extends beyond the outward characteristics that we often emphasize. Based on the insights of one of psychology's greatest thinkers, Carl Jung, we're going to examine some concepts today that may surprise you. You may get a whole different understanding of human attraction from what he learned about love, projection, and the unconscious mind. Among the most significant psychiatrists of the 20th century, Carl Jung had intriguing opinions on love. He maintained that love is the outcome of something much more profound than chance. He felt that a person's affection for you is based on more than just your outward appearance. It's because of what you stand for in their inner life. People are attracted to you for two main reasons, and both of them have their origins in the most profound parts of the human brain. These are not only surface-level characteristics, rather, they are unconscious elements that significantly influence the people we find attractive. We will examine Jung's theories of projection, the Anima and Animus, and the complex mechanisms behind attraction as we delve further into these topics. The unconscious habits that are at work are more important than the version of you that other people see. We'll explore the two main reasons why someone could fall in love with you in this video, as well as the hidden layers of attraction. Believe me, you will have a whole different perspective on love by the conclusion of this voyage. Before we get started, if you haven't already, I want to remind you to subscribe to Global Insights and Wisdom. You may receive first access to new videos and conversations on spiritual and personal development by subscribing. It's the ideal method to continue growing and learning. Let's explore the intriguing realm of attraction and love now. Love usually comes to mind as an unexpected spark. It seems like you're going about your day one minute and then someone catches your eye and you feel an unmistakable tug between them. Isn't it like magic? However, love is by no means a chance or incident in Carl Jung's opinion. There is a deeper pattern to even the most impromptu attraction. According to Jung, love is governed by an internal logic that originates in the unconscious rather than the conscious intellect. To put it another way, what may seem to be an immediate connection is really the product of several invisible forces that have been subtly forming you over time. Relationships that seem impromptu or unexpected are seldom really impromptu. They are the result of years of emotional growth, unsolved emotions, and unspoken needs instead. There is an unseen framework that directs us towards certain individuals in every relationship, whether it be a slow-burning bond or love at first sight. Although this framework doesn't function in the background of our conscious mind, it does exist and affects our behavior and attraction in ways that we often aren't aware of. Jung presents the potent concept of projection here. According to Jung, all of us have unconscious parts or concealed pictures of ourselves. These pictures may depict pieces of our identities that we have forgotten, disregarded, or even attempted to bury. However, these elements never really go away, no matter how much we try to disguise them. Rather, they wait to be articulated in our unconscious mind. We are attracted to someone in a manner that is almost supernatural when they embody one of our inner images, someone who brings back to us something we have buried or yearned for. But in reality, we are dealing with a reflection of ourselves rather than the individual. Think about this. Picture someone who has always played it safe. They're wary, reticent, and maybe even a little scared to express their feelings completely. They eventually meet someone, however, who is brave, vocal, and totally honest about their feelings, everything they are not. Not only does this individual look fascinating, they are captivating. A reserved person is attracted to someone who reflects something buried within them, not merely because of their appearance. They have repressed this aspect of themselves for years. It is a potential that has been dormant, just waiting to be realized. The unconscious mind is working right now, identifying what it needs to develop and change. In this instance, attraction is more than simply appreciation for another person. It's a kind of resonance, the realization of something that has been suppressed or absent from you. The other individual serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you what's within in a manner that is both familiar and foreign. The unconscious mind is the source of this form of attraction, which is motivated by a desire for development and integration. We are attracted to persons who reflect the parts of ourselves that need expression, healing, or attention. This idea is intriguing because it illuminates the inner workings of attraction. Finding a partner who mirrors aspects of our inner selves, parts that may be buried, ignored, or just waiting to be rediscovered, is more important than finding someone who just shares our interests or attributes. These subconscious draws, according to Jung, are not just coincidental. Rather, they constitute a component of a more extensive process of emotional and personal development. We are invited to examine and incorporate these inherent qualities into our conscious lives when we encounter someone who mirrors them. Love turns into a transformative power in this context. It's about two individuals reflecting each other's innermost wants, desires, and potentials, not just about two people meeting. Our attraction to other people often serves as a means of re-establishing a connection with ourselves, of finding and accepting aspects of ourselves that we may not have previously completely recognized. The unconscious mind performs a lovely, intricate ballet that has the capacity to significantly alter who we are. So, the next time you find yourself drawn to someone, keep in mind that it's not only about their appearance or even your apparent compatibility. It has to do with what they stand for in your inner life. The attraction you experience is a mirror of something within you that you may need to accept, express, or repair. Gaining insight into this more profound aspect of love might open your eyes to new connections and the unseen forces that influence our romantic relationships. Love is more than just two individuals meeting. It's about two unconscious minds reaching out to one another and giving each other the opportunity to develop and change together. The opposite is also true in this case. It's possible that someone may fall in love with you not because of the characteristics that are readily apparent, but rather because you inadvertently represent something that they are lacking, a characteristic, a quality, or an emotional tone that they have been yearning for without even realizing it. You end up becoming the missing piece, the live representation of a part of yourself that they have not yet grown. You are a representation of something that they do not have. It's not only a matter of opposites being drawn to one another. Specifically, it is the opposites that expose what is lacking. Others who are intellectual may find themselves attracted to others who are profoundly emotional. Extroverts have the potential to win the affection of introverts. A spirit that is organized could find someone who is chaotic to be fascinating. However, this adulation has the potential to swiftly turn into dependency. In the event that the individual does not acknowledge that the qualities that they appreciate in you are qualities that they might cultivate within themselves, they may cling to you not out of real love but rather out of an unconscious desire. It is possible that the attraction will diminish as soon as the need is altered, or as soon as your humanity causes a disruption to their idealized picture. In this way, the risk of projection is posed. It generates an illusion of closeness that, however, is not always able to survive the reality of the situation. As soon as the illusion is destroyed, the love that was constructed on it starts to fall apart. There was more to Jung than just projection. His notion of the anima and animus, which are archetypal pictures of the opposing gender that reside deep inside the mind, carried this idea to an even higher level. Jung believed that every man contains within him an unconscious picture of the feminine, which he referred to as his anima. On the other hand, every woman carries within her that of the masculine, which he referred to as her animus. These are not arbitrary choices or cultural roles. Rather, they are inner figures that are formed by our earliest connections, particularly with parental figures, as well as by the collective symbols of femininity and masculinity that are acquired from society, myth, and the human psyche itself. The passage of time transforms these archetypes into blueprints that are emotionally laden. We carry them without even realizing them, and one day we come across someone who seems to be a wonderful match for them. It is possible that the attraction will be too much to bear when this occurs. Even when we have just recently met, there is often a profound sensation of familiarity, as if we have known this person for an extremely long time. It is possible to have a sense of destiny, soul recognition, or the reawakening of an old memory. Jung, on the other hand, would warn us that this is not destiny. It does not provide proof of soulmates in the cosmos. When the mind sees a reflection of its own internal design in another human being, this is what has happened. The second reason behind these intense emotional connections is that you're tapping into a deep, unconscious image that someone has carried with them for years. This image isn't necessarily how they present themselves or even how they act. It's more about their core identity. When they meet you, it's like you're activating a hidden pattern within them, one that stirs up powerful emotions. This is why the connection can feel almost instant and surreal. But it's not really you that they're falling for at first. Rather, it's the internal image or symbol you've unknowingly become for them. When someone falls in love with you, they might think they're falling for you as a person. But in reality, what they're falling for is a projection, an idea, a fantasy, or even a dream they've placed onto you. This is where the confusion begins. They're not truly seeing you in the moment. Instead, they're seeing what they've imagined you to be. You've become the screen onto which their inner script is being projected, an old story that gets played out when you show up. The trouble arises when the real you starts to emerge with all your imperfections, contradictions, and human flaws. This is when the illusion shatters. What once felt magical now feels complicated and difficult. Disappointments set in as conflicts arise, and what seemed like a dream relationship starts to look more like a nightmare. The projection falls apart under the weight of reality. Relationships like this often start with passion and excitement, but end in chaos, not because there was anything wrong with the people involved, but because they were never truly connected in the way they thought they were. These relationships were based not on mutual understanding, but on an unconscious archetype playing out in real life. And no one can ever fully live up to the expectations of an archetype. Carl Jung, however, didn't view this as a failure, even though it often leads to pain and confusion. He believed it was actually an important part of human development. Love, he thought, isn't just an emotional experience. It's also a force for transformation. When we fall in love with someone, that person acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us things we may not even realize about ourselves. Some people help us see our potential, while others bring to light our deepest fears. Some inspire us creatively, while others make us feel uneasy. But no matter the reaction, everyone we fall in love with plays a role in pushing us toward growth. Love accelerates this journey of individuation, the process of becoming whole, of integrating all the different aspects of ourselves. When someone falls in love with you, they may believe they're seeing something magical or mystical in you, and in a way, they are. But the magic isn't just in who you are, it's in what you awaken within them. You're not just a person to them, you are a symbol, a turning point, a psychological invitation. The same is true for you. There are certain people you fall in love with for a reason, especially those who shake you up, transform you, and even break your heart. These relationships are significant. They catalyze growth and bring out hidden parts of your psyche. Some people come into your life to teach you something you've been avoiding. Others are there to show you parts of yourself you've neglected. Ultimately, everyone you connect with is holding up a mirror to you, whether that reflection is clear or distorted, depending on how ready you are to face it. These connections aren't meant to last forever. Some are there to disrupt and challenge your patterns. Jung referred to these as synchronistic experiences, events that don't seem logically related but are deeply meaningful. It may not be a coincidence when someone enters your life and stirs up powerful feelings. Your unconscious and theirs may have been preparing for this encounter. In fact, the very fact that you're experiencing these intense emotions is a sign that a transformation is underway. Even the painful, difficult experiences, especially those, are not mistakes. They are part of the process, part of what you need to grow, even if they leave scars. So why do people fall in love with you? It's because, consciously or unconsciously, you bring something to the surface that they need to recognize, either something they've forgotten about themselves or something they've been longing for. Love, in this sense, isn't really about you at all. It's about them, about their own journey of self-discovery. The same is true for you. You fall in love with people who reflect parts of yourself that are missing, people who resonate with your inner vision, people who hold the key to your next stage of development. If you're not aware of these patterns, however, you risk repeating the same cycles, falling for the same types of people, and getting stuck in the same relationships. You might think you're just unlucky in love, but in reality, your unconscious is trying to teach you something important, something you might not be ready to learn yet. Jung believed that awareness is the key to breaking this cycle. Once you start to recognize your projections, your inner figures, and the patterns you're following, you begin to understand that love isn't about finding someone to complete you. Instead, it's about discovering and embracing your own potential. As a result, love transforms. It stops being based on fantasy and fear and instead becomes something deeper, real, grounded, and liberating. True love, in the end, is not about finding the perfect partner. It's about rediscovering the parts of yourself that have been waiting to be expressed. It's not just about falling in love with someone else. It's about falling in love with the version of yourself they help you uncover. When seen through Jung's lens, love shows us that it's never really about the other person. In the end, love is always a journey back to ourselves. So, the next time you find yourself falling in love, or when someone falls in love with you, ask yourself, what part of your soul is awakening right now? If this resonates with you and you've been reflecting on your own experiences with love and connection, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Global Insights and Wisdom for more deep, thought-provoking content about the inner world, relationships, and psychology.